Now, the National Investigation Agency will be probing the attack on Indian High Commission in London. Earlier, remember, FIR was registered by the Delhi police, and now the Ministry of Home Affairs has directed the National Investigation Agency to probe the attack by pro-Khalistani supporters on the Indian High Commission in London on March 19th. CNN News 18's Arunima is joining us to tell us more about it. Arunima, can you give us more details on this new order that has been given by the Ministry of Home Affairs to the NIA to probe the matter, the attack that happened on the Indian High Commission in London?
NIA has started its probe already. The FIR has been taken over, which means FIR has been re-registered by NIA. This was the original case by the Delhi police under the Public Defacement Act, because the Indian High Commission property is a property that is under the jurisdiction of Indian government, even though it is situated in London. And since flag of the country was taken off there were also stone pelting that happened, breaking window panes. Hence, the Public Defacement Act sections were attracted. But more interestingly, UAPA sections were also imposed by the Delhi police. The reason why NIA is taking over. Two reasons. One, UAPA scheduled offence, NIA is the nodal agency. Second, NIA is the only competent agency to probe crimes which have happened outside the country, because it would require cooperation with foreign agencies as well, in this case the Metropolitan Police of London and perhaps the intelligence agencies of UK as well, to understand who were the people behind it, what was their motive, from where was the money coming in. If the money was coming in from Pakistan, then it's a multi-country probe. So all of that will have to be looked at, and that's why NIA has taken over. They say it's very preliminary stage at the moment. The suspicion is some of those who indulged in violence are Indian nationals, and therefore NIA is taking over this matter.
Also, Arunima, as per reports, in the initial investigation, it has been found that there is a terror link involved in this case. Can you give us more details about that?
See, the fact that it's a case under UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, means that, it is not a normal crime. The suspicion is that, these were elements, separatist elements who had Khalistani cause on their mind. And we know some of the Khalistani groups very active in United Kingdom, be it Seek for Justice, be it Babbar Khalsa International, the Tiger Khalistan Force. These are all forces and organizations which have links to ISI. And earlier probe by NIA and other agencies have also led to the fact that most of the leaders or organizational leadership of these organizations have their origin in Pakistan, or they are being supported from Pakistan. That's where UAPA comes in, and that's why NIA has stepped in as well.
All right, Arunima, we also have Siddhant joining us. Siddhant, so the NIA will now be probing the attack on the Indian High Commission in London. What can be expected next?
Well, that's right. In fact, there have been several attacks that have been taken place on the foreign offices outside India. But the London case has been taken very seriously, is being taken very seriously by Indian government. And this is perhaps the reason that, if you remember, that there was a story that India has put in enormous pressure on the British government to act against the perpetrators. And this is perhaps the reason that even then also, initial case was registered with Delhi Police Special Cell. Now we are getting to know, and in fact, what Arunima is bringing for us is that the case will be transferred to NIA. Now, NIA has got a broader ambit. NIA has more powers in comparison to Delhi Police in terms of investigating cases related to UAPA, also investigating cases which have taken place on the foreign soil, or maybe the conspiracy has taken place on the foreign soil. And this is perhaps the reason. This also shows that how serious Indian government is as far as attack on the High Commission in London is concerned. That on one end, they are putting pressure on the authorities in London to act against the perpetrators, to arrest them. On the other end, our own teams have also been given this task to look into the matter, because this is not only one incident. This could not be seen in isolation. There is a larger conspiracy involved. These people are the same individuals, those who have been raising anti-India voice sitting in London. They belong to one group, and in fact they have been getting nurtured by some powerful people. So to investigate all those angles, this particular decision has been taken by Ministry of Home Affairs, and also there were many multiple stories related to ISI linked ISI people backing these groups, those who were involved in attacks on Indian High Commission. So in fact, all these angles are going to be considered, and then action would be taken. So there's also a possibility that NIA teams can visit London and in fact can meet their counterparts in London, and both the governments can share relevant intelligence related to this particular incident, or maybe related to the separatist group active in London right now. Back to you.
Right, Siddhant. So this incident took place on March 19th. So what action has been taken by the London authorities in this past month?
Well, what we have been given to understand is that there was one arrest which took place in the matter, and the person who was arrested had a criminal antecedent, and in fact he is a known separatist man in London. Before that also there is a dossier available with the Indian government. Also, he's the same person who climbed onto the first floor of the High Commission and tried to pull down the Indian flag. So that entire incident got captured captured. And in fact, the footages are available. So, yes, probing that particular angle, then there are lot of foreign funding that these groups are receiving. There are big, there are big people involved in funding these groups allegedly, and this is perhaps the reason that Indian government is not only relying on their British counterparts, but they want to launch their own probe. And this is the reason that the probe has been taken away from Delhi police, because again, Delhi police has their own limitations. The probe has been now given to NIA. Now, NIA has been more empowered in this regime, and NIA can probe the conspiracy hatched on the foreign soil. And this is the reason that this particular decision has been taken. And time and again, there are multiple videos, multiple reports which claim that how ISI is backing these groups in London and in whole of UK, and on the name of free speech, under the banner of free speech, how anti-India conspiracies are being hatched in these parts of UK. So all those angles are going to be covered. If you also remember, there was a statement which came from the foreign secretary of Britain, and in that he once again assured India that proper action is going to be taken against all the perpetrators involved in the Indian High Commission attack case. Also, when Prime Minister Modi spoke to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, he also did flag off the issue of separatist groups in London and the attack on the Indian Foreign Office, and Prime Minister did raise the issue of security, to which Rishi Sunak assured Prime Minister Modi that the proper action will be taken on the perpetrators.
All right,
and
Siddhant.
Also he assured Prime Minister. So constantly Indian government is taking up this issue, and this particular decision also shows the seriousness of the government.
All right, Siddhant. Thank you for getting us all those details. Now we have